thought I was gonna mime this whole thing, but I might as well actually talk. Makes more sense. How you doing, YouTube? Matt Master Beer Reviews. Maple Death. Yeah. Where does this come? Steven? Pretty sure this comes from Steven. Maybe. So there's a beer that came from Steven, and I thought somebody else sent me, and then there's like 19 different, like, anytime anybody sends me Revolution, I just assume they come from Chuck, out Chicago way, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, this is an Imperial Stout, aged in maple syrup, bourbon barrels. It is a Saturday. I just took my dog Taco to the vet and spent $400 for them to tell me he had a tummy ache, which is really awesome. So I'm drinking a bourbon barrel aged beer. So you're talking about a bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout, not just a bourbon barrel aged. Words are hard. Bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout from Revolution, but maple syrup. I'm hoping this is good. Label ice is actually killer. Look at that. Just skeleton drowning in maple, holding a Canadian flag, or a maple leaf flag, which it's a Canadian flag. So yeah, what do they say on here? It says brought to you with our friends at Chicago Maple. This comforting sipper spent time resting in freshly emptied maple syrup bourbon barrels. Then we sweetened the beer with that same bourbon barrel aged maple syrup to produce waves of American oak, spirit, and maple, working harmoniously to deliver an experience as approachable as it is satisfying. Enjoy now or store cold. October of last year, so almost a year in this sucker. Looks like a stout. Got a nice head on it, so it doesn't have that kind of loss of carbonation that sometimes you get with little barrel aging beers. But you know, it's a Revolution. They know what they're doing. One of the better barrel aging programs in the country. So it's nice. I'm excited for this beer because it is bourbon first, barrel second, beer and then maple syrup. I was going to say beer and then maple syrup tied, but no. So the maple syrup in this isn't overtly heavy-handed. It really is spirit forward, but not super hot. That little bit of barrel comes in right behind it, and when I say a little bit, a decent amount of barrel comes right behind it. Nice kind of barrel char, a little smokiness, a little chariness, a little chocolate rub kind of chariness on it, a little coconut, a little bit of vanilla. Beer comes in just behind that with this nice kind of chocolate, roasty, toasty kind of maltiness. Maple syrup kind of fluttering around. Now, for them to actually be like, yeah, we put it in this maple barrel and then we added maple syrup, you expect to be like over the top, but it's not. It actually comes off quite balanced. Makes sense. Revolution knows what they're doing again. It smells really, really damn good, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's good. That's good. It is sweeter than I thought it'd be based off of the nose, and the maple syrup definitely is the star of the show, at least on the taste. But it still doesn't get like nearly as heavy-handed as a lot of people tend to do with their maple syrup beers. There's a nice kind of little bit of kind of sharp, bittering, charry character from both the malts and the actual barrel itself. Spirit is definitely there. I think that's adding to the sweetness. It's adding a actually decent amount of sweetness to it, but not like a big heat component, even though you get a little bit on the back end. It's tasty. It's really, honestly, really, really tasty. But, there is a but. It really does lack that next level kind of, oh shit, that you typically expect, or at least I typically expect, or people that typically drink Revolution barrel-aged beers expect from their barrel-aging program. It tastes almost like a beer they... How do I put this? It tastes like a beer that they made and went, we don't have anything left to blend. Let's just put it out. It's tasty. Fine. It like their barrel-aging program is so electric, so vibrant, so beautiful, that when I have one of these, which is really tasty, like you give this to me from 1,000 different breweries that I drink on the reg, I go, wow, they made a really great bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout. Hiccups are hiccups are strong with this one. Star Wars reference, which doesn't make sense because it's Maple Death, not Death Star, whatever. Anyway, yeah, just kind of like you expect a little bit more. You expect a little bit more vibrance, a little bit more, chutzpah, a little bit more electricity from them. So it's not like I'm sitting here saying this beer is bad, this beer is poopy, this beer is whatever. But I just want just a little bit more. Because when you have the VSOJs of the world, or you have some of their other beers that are just so over the top fantastic, they can bring that level of heat. This almost tastes like they're blending, and then they hit up the end, and they had a couple pre-blends. You know what I mean? Like they were like, okay, when a brewery makes a bunch of beers, it's not like they just put stuff in barrels, put it in a bottle or can, and send it off. They start blending and mixing and blending, adding here, adding there, mix these two together, and add that to that. It's almost like this is like one of the okay, take some of that one, add it to some of this, but they made the beer they originally were making ended up being perfect, and they're like, okay, well that tastes pretty good. Just put that in a can, we'll sell it. And I'm not actually saying that's what they did. I'm not accusing them of being that brewery or doing those kind of things. But yeah, that's kind of how it comes off. A little less electric, a little less, mind-numbing, if you will, but a really tasty beer nonetheless. I'm done. Is this one of the better barrel-aged beers that I've had? That was like, yes. Even all that kind of poopy conversation, yes it is. Is it one of the better Revolution barrel-aged beers I've had as late? No. Is it one of the better barrel-aged beers across the board in general? Yes, that's the thing. That's kind of like, they crush it. So, while this is kind of like, might be kind of ho-hum, semi-subpar for what they make, their ho-hum, semi-subpar is better than everybody else's best effort, more often than not. So, that's perception for you. No idea on the cost. Steven, this came from Steven. Steven, let me know what's what. Leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like bourbon barrel aged maple syrup beers. Not heavy handed, not over the top, really good drinking, fun ass beer. Done. There you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you've had this, let me know. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of barrel aged beer right now. We'll see you next time.